Hello and welcome to another review here at Frontline Model Hobbies, and I must admit it's like waiting for a bus. You wait for one and then two turn up. But anyway, so I've got a review here of the Great Wall Hobby Curtis Hawk 81A2, and I must admit, for me personally, and I've seen people building it before I even got the bloody thing, but I've been waiting so long to get this kit and I've finally got it. So let's have a look inside the box. Okay, so I'm going to stop fannying about now. So let's have a look inside the box. And first off, just before we do, that box art is striking. That is stunning. One thing they missed a trick with this is giving us a really nice print. You know, one of them with the white border and all the writing at the bottom. That would have been awesome. So anyway, let's stop messing around. Let's have a look inside the box. Oh, we've got a wee cocked up piece of paper. Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. So, one sprue. Oh, photo etch stuck at the top where it could bend. Two sprue. Three. So you got the engine detail on there. As you can see, each one's entirely bagged, which is very nice. Oh, we've got exhausts in there. We've got a box of wonders. I'll have a look at that in a minute. And then we've got the fuselage on another sprue, another couple of sprues in that one, and some pipes, some more pipes if you like pipes. Oh, we've got a figure. We'll have a look at that. We've got a nice patch for those who like patches. You can put it on your coat when you go into air shows and be a proper geek. We've also got some rubber tyres. We've got some pull-outs, decals and usual stuff, and the instructions. Oh, and another pull-out there. So bear with me 2 seconds and we'll have a look at what it says on the instructions. So quickly, just before I go through the instructions, this actual model is going to, in fact, I'm taking it to him tomorrow. He's going to a good friend of mine, Lenny at RTB Models. He's going to build it. I think we're going to do a buddy build, or as we call it, a gay build. And basically, and I quote, and this is a quote, this is what he said to me over Skype: if I break it, he's going to break me. So, yeah. Anyway, so instructions. I'm going to quickly gloss over this as fast as I can, really, because you've probably seen these reviews, or there's quite a few reviews out there of it. So one thing I do like about it is this pull-out. So straight pull-out, you've got all your call-outs there for all the sprues, all numbered, as you can see, going the way through. And not only that, on the back side, you've got the paint call-out, so you can leave that to one side and just look at your leisure instead of flicking through the instruction manual. So that's one thing I do like about the instructions. So, moving on. So, one thing other than like the border models Stuka, you do get full seat belts for the seat, and you get instrument dials, decals to go on the instruments, which is also quite nice. Framing going together. Moving on, putting all the cockpit pieces here. To be fair, the cockpit's quite straightforward. It goes together within the second step. And then the third and fourth, you put in all the internal parts in the rear. I'm guessing that's like oil tanks or air tanks or what have you, into there. And then putting it all together, putting the bulkheads in. And then virtually you get to that point there, which is, I must admit, it's not like a Zokimura kit where majority of the stuff is not going to be seen. You are going to see quite a lot of that through there. So, moving on to step 7. Putting the cockpit in as you normally do, and then another bit I do like is where the one-piece tail goes down. It reminds me of the Accurate Miniatures B25, that. Then putting your elevators on and your rudder on, which again is one piece down, which should be like a panel line on there. Then putting the rudder on, putting the wheel wells on, which have got some nice fabric detail, which I'll show you in a bit. You've got all the strengthening plates on there for the one-piece wing, lower and half. Upper and lower, dickhead. And then putting your machine guns in, which are 3D printed parts, I think. and then your ailerons and whatnot. And it looks weird, but trust me, when you see later, you'll see anyway. Then you're going on to, this is where you're paying for. So instead of getting an Edard photo etch flap set, it's all in the kit, so you don't need to go out and buy that. So yeah, they all go together quite nice, and then you put in the racks for the weapons and stuff like that, I think. Or is that the ejector ports? No, I think that's the ejector ports. But anyway, putting the lower half parts of the flaps on. Another bit I do like is, obviously you've got your flap segment there, so it shows you open flap. Not quite sure why you needed that. You've got this fillet here, which, if that works, that is an idea to have no seam line on either side of the wing to the fuselage, so that's quite good. Then you put in some more bits and photo etched here and there, some cover plate there, and then you put in the fuel lines, which I'm guessing, running around the belly, and then you put in the strengthening plates for this bottom sort of plate to fit onto the bottom half of the wing, which is this piece. Now, one thing I've got to note, I'll show you, is if you cut there and cut that piece off, you can actually have it with two fuel tanks. So I'll show you there. That's what it can look like. Another bit that I do like is putting the basically the landing gear as like a solid piece. What do you call it? Like a plug-in fit. Really nice idea. Same on the other side. Or you can have the landing gear up with the 1/2 solid wheel. And there you go, that's the plug-in fit for the landing gear, which is very nice. Putting the gear doors on, either for the gear door, or the gear down or up. And then you've got the option of, well, you've got two options in this kit, having the full engine like that, or having what you'll see in a minute, the engine exposed. So that's putting it all together, and virtually that is that complete. Then you're moving on to putting the engine together, putting all the bits on, putting the rocker covers on, HT leads and everything, putting the framing on for the engine. And literally, I do like where it shows you where it's on in each part. It shows you there and there and each bit. Putting all the rest of the fuel lines on, oil lines on. And you haven't really got major amounts of wiring on there, but it does give it a nice effect, putting some photo etched on there for the machine guns that go through the top. Building the frame up for the engine. And there you go, you've got the one or the other. So you've got three magnets, one that will go onto the fuselage at the front, and then one on the engine and one on the other part, with the complete cowling and everything. So interchangeable fit, which is very nice. And not only that, you've still got the detail at the back. Moving on, putting the canopies on, you've got actual masks in the set as well, and then you've got a pilot figure. So you've either got him going, yeah, thumbs up, I'm ready to rock and roll, or the two-handed grip, and then that's him painted. So that is the instructions. I know it's a bit quick, there's lots of reviews out there, and I'm thinking these are on scale mates anyway, so you can look at them later on. So a quick nosy at the mass set. So cut masks, as you can see, nothing really major to look on there. You've got, I don't understand the concept of this, so you've got like, it's a bit like a top trumps card. My aeroplane has got a MG42, yeah, whatever. Decals. So you've got 1, 2, 3 sheets of decals. Let's have a look at the sharp mouths. Yeah, they look nice. In fact, these do look probably the best sharp mouths I've seen. I know sharp mouths are a bastard to get down, but with a bit of patience and probably a nick here and there with the scalpel, and you'll be able to get them down. But they look pretty good. Let's just see that the profile is to the airframe, but I have seen kits built of it and it looks alright. Next on is you've got all your stencil data at the bottom, and you've got all your codes there and all your badges, and I do like the tigers on there. Nicely registered, nice colours going the way through. Do look pretty good then. Last but not least, on the decals you've obviously got the RAF roundels, so you can do an RAF one if you so wish, and then you've got your Chinese national markings on there. Photo etched is very, very, very thin, as you can see. Don't think it'd be too much of a nightmare, because obviously there's a lot of it that needs to be bent, but there again, I've had really thin photo etch before and it's been a nightmare, and then I've had thick photo etch and it's been a nightmare. But if you're a photo etch guy, you'll love it. So looks pretty good, and there's a lot of it as well. Bit of we've messed up card, I think. I've not actually checked, but you can probably look back at the instructions and say, ha, you messed up there, dickhead. You've got one call out, so you've got white 49, which is the th. I'll explain that in a minute, but that is one call out there. Oh, and lastly, for the last part of the paint scheme call out guide thingies, you've got white 7, so this is both sides, white 48, white 68, white 77, and white 75. So yeah, one thing I do find quite funny is, yeah, you'll see it when you'll see it. So the first pursuit squadron, the second pursuit squadron, ha ha ha, and the fifth pursuit squadron, the third pursuit squadron, and the fifth pursuit squadron. Oh dear, that should have been the third. Typo, I think. But anyway, very cool schemes. All the same paint, what do you call it, demarcation lines and everything. So yeah, can't go wrong with that at all. And finally, if you are the geek who likes wearing random patches at air shows, then this is just right for you. So, quite cool. It's got Velcro on one side, but if you are that person, please keep away from me. But either way, you can put it on your base, you can do whatever you want with it. So, nice option. So, thank you, Great Wall Hobby. So, I'm not going to go mad with all the sprues. I'm not going to sort of show... I'll show you as much as I can, but I'll show you the main details. So, we'll start off with sprue A, which is obviously the wings, and a little bits and bobs at the bottom. So, I'll drag you in. Obviously, you've got, as you can see there, some really nice detail in the bottom of the floor. And same again, reciprocating on the bottom wing section there. Rivet detail and panel lining is very restrained. It's not over the top. That light's pretty nice. There we have it. Same again on the top. But one thing I have noticed is that it's got reinforcing strips on the both top and bottom. And this is what I have also noticed, is that yes, you've got this reinforcement, but no sink marks whatsoever that I have noticed on this wing section. So kudos to Great Wall Hobby on that one. Fuselage section, so this is sprue B. Again, you've got restrained, if I can pick you out, restrained rivet detail and panel lining, and you've got that fillet area there for the, well, fillet, dickhead. And then you've got the raised rivets for the flaps. So nice sprue on that one. Next one, we've got sprue G. So I'm doing this quite randomly. So you've got two sprues, and as you can see, some nice detail going through there. No, literally no flash on those parts whatsoever. Got bum fluff on it, but there we go. Literally pretty good. Injection pin marks, I'm not quite sure whether they're in the way or this, that and the other, but nice detail on there. But you'll have photo watch on there, so very nice. And they are the sections where the landing gear fit in and go onto the wings. So hopefully they should fit with no gaps. And there we have it. Not going to go majorly over these two sprues. So in my left hand here, you've got sprue J, and on the right is sprue K. And these are all your wires. So as you can see, some very, very, very nice wiring going on there, and cabling and pipe work and usual stuff. So if you like your pipe work, and Lenny, as you can see, I've not broke them. They're still in one piece, thank God. But yeah, very, very nice going through. Next one, we've got sprue E, and that's majority of it is the cockpit and the rear section. You've got landing gear there. Let's just have a nose at the landing gear. As you can see on there, they are one piece, no injection pin marks on there. Quick clean up with the sprue tabs, and off you crack. And there you go, you've got the instrument panel on there. So nice details on there going through, pretty good. So sprue F now, and as you can see, you've got the engine, you've got the actual frame for the engine, you've got your mount, or an external mount anyway, and just generally all the engineering parts for the engine. And again, some more wiring on there, nothing too elaborate, not too over the top, but again, everything that you need to there to produce a really nice engine. So not really much to speak on that, other than that it looks very nice. Another major sprue is sprue C, and again you've got that restrained rivet and panel lining. One thing I've noticed is, I think it is this one maybe, I'm not quite sure whether some of them look a bit over on the fabric detail, but you know, under paint I don't think it would be too much of a problem. And then you've got the bags on there for the rear landing gear, and then you've got the main landing gear wheel wells, which have got some nice fabric detail in there, and then that's the bit. If you cut that there, you can have those two fuel tanks. So that is sprue C. Last major sprue is sprue D, and this comprises your other part of the nose section. So this is the complete nose with all the cowlings and everything together. You've got the spinner there, you've got your fillets on here, which I'm hoping is a nice seam line or a nice join going around there, and it leaves you a nice panel line. On the back side, like those cooling vanes, you've got no injection pin marks in there, so you just cut it off and glue it on. So yeah, looking quite cool, and you've got either open or closed. So that is sprue D. Nothing really major to talk about on that one. This small little sprue, sprue L, comprises for your landing gear being up. So you only get halves, as you can fully well imagine. So that is that. So second to last set of sprues here, we've got two of each, as you can see, for the exhaust stub. So let's just have a look at one. And as you can see, they're fully well drilled out, which is nice. And you've got the seam line on there, which I'm trying to pick out now on each one. Very nice. One literal sprue gate to clean up and literally glue them on, and you're done. Right, finally we've got the figure, which, to be fair, for an injection moulded figure doesn't look too bad, but it is a bit softly moulded, to say the least. It is moulded all the way around, and there's no injection pin marks on there whatsoever, and I don't think I can see a seam line on there, which is quite cool. Oh, it's underneath, there's a seam line there. There might be a resin figure coming out, or if not, you might be able to squeeze in another resin figure from another kit or wherever. But either way, looks nice. And his thumb's up there, and it's not broken, unlike my thumbs if I'd broke this kit. So there we go. And in this little nice little box here, you've got probably, and I've got to say this, these are the best canopies I've ever seen in my entire life. I kid you not. That is a complex curve, and there's no distortion in that at all. The main canopy, I mean, look at that. It's very hard to show you. I know you can see some sort of distortion in there, but it's uber clear. And I mean, really stupidly clear. I do like that. that is awesome. And last but not least, you've got some 3D printed gun barrels, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare to get out of there, or probably not actually, but you've got, by the looks of it, 6 in there. So very hard to show you on the camera, but very nice indeed. Alrighty then, so that is the review of the Flying Tigers Curtis Hawk 81A2 by Great Wall Hobby. And if Lenny, if you're watching, I didn't break it, it's all good. So, would I recommend the kit? Yes, obviously, fantastic kit, all this, that and the other. The way that all the parts go together, like the nose, you've got the different option, you've got the stand, you've got the fillet, you've got the flaps, which are all photo etched and what have you. You've got no injection pin marks that look like they're in anywhere where they shouldn't be. You've got all the detail through this hatch. You've got the way that the landing gear fits in. It's just basically like a fillet, well, just like a plug-in fit. Like I said, that fillet on there. The way that this section goes down, and you've got the one-piece tail, or 2 pieces of tail that glue together that go down onto that join there. It is well thought out. The Great Wall Hobby have gone to the point of going, right, how can we eliminate any seam line or any gap where they can just cut it off the sprue, clean the sprue tabs up and glue it together. Done and dusted. If that's the case, I would really want this to continue from Great Wall Hobby. If they can do a P51 like this, or a P47, or maybe another later war P40, that would be awesome. Now, there is a sting in the tail, and it's the price. Now, we always talk about the price, and we always say, yeah, but we want more detailed kits, but the prices go up. So it's hand in hand, yes, I know, but I would not pay the full retail price of 140 quid. I mean, come on, Great Wall Hobby, £140, and I know it's after tax and VAT and import duties and all this, that and the other coming to this country, but still 140 quid is a bit steep. And I've been told that the next batch, or probably the batch after, or whatever you, are going up to about 155, 160 quid. We've got this up for sale for £99.99. If you want one, get it from us. If we haven't got any more, and we can't get any more, just don't pay full retail price for it. That's all I'm saying. So, with that in mind, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I will see you again on the next video, which I'm hoping is not going to be a long time. So, cheerio, happy modelling, and stay safe.